Welcome back to my channel. Doing something new. You know, this is no longer fleet-footed or whatever. Welcome to Tosin's Takes. You know, it's time to take the YouTube thing actually seriously, guys. It's time to take it seriously. There's too many people I meet now that tell me to start doing this. So here we go. Enjoy the rebrand. I want to keep it. Mainly, it'll be 50% Arsenal focus, 50% general football. So it gives me an opportunity to actually talk about stuff and share my opinions on matches that are going, other matches outside of Arsenal. Because, newsflash, I watch football outside of Arsenal. So it's only right we talk about it, right? So this is purely Tosin's opinions. I bring in some facts here, but this is just purely a way to give my opinions and to see what fans resonate with me. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Today's episode is just solely on the Champions League semi-finals. We are at half-time, right? And of course, I got to start with Arsenal PSG, right? So PSG won, Arsenal 0 at the Emirates. Arteta told us, bring our boots. Arteta told us, you know, bring our shin pads. You know, he got us gassed. You know, I was seeing videos on Instagram.
Marcus, they put us in red, the color of blood.
But I saw a video that people were playing the song from the song from Daredevil.
Left. This cannon became our uniform, and we became an army.
Everything, everything, playing it over. Declan Rice's free kicks, the Real Madrids, you know, talking about how the color of red means not just anger, it means rage, it's blood, it's war, we go to war. We got all of the animations, we were gassed. Only we had North London forever. We did all of that. You mean to tell me we did all of this promo, this hype, to go and get bossed by PSG in the first 10 minutes and to see them go deservedly 1-0 up? Nah. So what happened here? What happened to Arsenal? Well, it's funny because before the game, obviously, I did the AFTV. Shout out AFTV, great guys. I did the AFTV watch along at Box Park, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I expected Arsenal to win 2-0. I did. I was confident we'd beat them at our ground. Did I think that we were a better team than them? Not necessarily. I just felt there were, and I'll explain why. There were a few components about the way we play, the way they play, which I thought we'd be able to handle. But it became evidently clear to me within the first 2 minutes that, wow, Enrique, man, I forgot about Luis Enrique. I forgot that my man is actually a good coach. You know, I forgot that, hey, it's not just MSN that was holding you up. You're actually a good coach. I forgot that he was a 2-time La Liga winner. I forgot that he's a Champions League winner. I forgot that he got PSG to the semi-final last season. I forgot that he has essentially been the spearhead of getting rid of their Galacticos and bringing in talented but hard-working people. And I forgot that he's completely revitalized PSG. Now, when I say I forgot, not that PSG on a good team, I forgot that how good a coach Enrique is. And I'm not going to lie, like, PSG's intensity, like, you heard Virgil van Dijk talk about it, saying he's never faced anyone that presses the way they pressed. And you heard John McGinn talk about it as well after the Villa match when Villa got dumped out. So he said that PSG are the best team in the Champions League, the way they play, that they've never had to run as hard as they did against PSG, right? And so I would have thought, you know, Arsenal, in my opinion, being the best out of possession team in Europe, in my opinion, I would have thought we would have had a tactical plan, you know, for how we're going to play against them. But man, PSG's intensity, they did their homework. They did their homework, man. I did not expect that. I thought they were going to, it was weird. PSG came and played their game, but also nullified us, if that makes sense. So they definitely exploited the fact that Thomas Partey was suspended because the midfield had gaps for days. gaps for days, man. You see it for the only goal of the game. Dembele, he's in acres of space. I don't know where my 6 is. I don't know where my 8 is. I don't know where my other Roman attacking 8 is. I don't know, but done, right? Drives, gives the ball to Guevara, who I thought probably gave Timber his toughest game. Let's be honest, he probably gave Timber the toughest game I've seen Timber. This is the most I've seen Timber work. Probably for the first half. Second half, he kind of, won those jaws there and then. But Guevara was doing a lot of tracking back, which I'll talk about later. They did their homework, even down to the way they defended set pieces. Like they knew our tactic. By the way, what's happened to our set pieces? Why aren't we scoring from them anymore? It's crazy. Yeah, they knew. I was just really impressed with PSG. Before I talk about what Arsenal did okay in but didn't do well in, we got to give credit to PSG, man, because this team, man, they're such a young team, and I actually thought that would work in our advantage that they're a young team. Yes, they got Luis Enrique, who's very, very experienced, but it's a young team. It's a very, very young. They got the youngest team in the. I think they got the second youngest team in the Champions League after Barcelona. Young team, but these are guys. They learn so quickly. I was impressed by how hard their wingers were working. You see, Due, it was crazy the energy that these guys have, because Due and Guevara was such a threat on the transition, getting the ball, taking on our players, dribbling. Every time they got the ball, there was a bit of trepidation in the stadium. You felt like something was going to happen. And if not for a great save by Raya, Due makes it 2-0. Guevara as well, the amount of times he got in, had space. But my thing is, they did that, but still had the energy to track back. If you watch Martinelli and Saka, every single time they got the ball, there were at least 3 guys. So they did their homework. They know that our game is tailored to get our wingers one-on-one, right? They know that. And yeah, it was, honestly, I was really, really impressed by PSG. And if you ask me, I think Arsenal are lucky. Yeah, we had chances, which I'm going to talk about. If you ask me, Arsenal are lucky. I think it actually bodes well for us that we only lost 1-0. Given the way they started, the way they were just bopping the ball around our ground as if they were playing in Parc des Princes. It was crazy. So yeah, I was really impressed by PSG. I definitely think Arteta got outcoached. You could see it you could see that positionally our midfield was bad. I don't know what happened there. Obviously, the Thomas Partey blow was a huge blow. Now you can see why Rice was fuming at him at the Bernabeu, because it's so crucial to how we play. Because it's not that the midfield we had was bad. It's just that it was just imbalanced. I don't think they were used to. Yeah, I mean, when's the last time that midfield three have played together with Rice as a 6, Marino as an 8? When's the last time that's happened? I can't remember. I really can't remember. I need to look into it. But the last time I've seen that midfield play and actually have a great game, I think it must have been Nottingham Forest. Probably Nottingham Forest when we beat him 3-0. But yeah, Rice was okay. I panned him on AFTV. I said he wasn't great. And that's why people need to listen to the full context of something. I said he wasn't great in terms of his positionally, because there were just gaps in the midfield, and he lost Dembele for the goal. There was a midfield imbalance. And this is where I think Arteta, I think he had an off night, because that PSG, they're technical. They got ballers. That Vitinha is the one who makes them tick. Man, by the way, João Neves, that guy does not stop running, man. The tackle he did for who was it? The penalty shot that was not a penalty. It was a fantastic tackle. Man, the legs on this guy. Yeah, that their strength is their midfield and Dembele. That. But I don't feel like we did enough to actually counter that. And I almost felt as if I think what worked well when we beat them 2-0, because people forget, yes, it's a different PSG, but a lot of those players played. What worked well when we beat them 2-0 at our ground is we actually kind of let them have the ball. I felt like we allowed them to draw us out of our shape a bit too much, and we left massive gaps, which they exploited ruthlessly. Whereas I feel like if we kind of did what we did in the 2-0, we sat in a low block. We were okay to actually sit in a low block a couple times. in that 2-0 because we're like, okay, cool, you can have the ball. We know you're not going to do anything with it. We're going to draw you on, we're going to have the ball, and we're going to bully you. We're going to be direct. And which is what we did. You think about the goals we scored against them when we beat them 2-0. Direct running from Trossard, gets a cross in. Yeah, I didn't see enough crosses, enough good crosses. Really make Donnarumma work, which is what we did, So, yeah. So I think Arteta got that wrong. I think you could see it's almost like the players. I don't know. I think it's 50% we underestimated PSG, but also 50% we were just shocked by like how good they are. And I think this Partey blow was a massive, massive blow. Massive blow. Why do I say that? Because we need someone who can receive the ball with his back to goal. And it's okay. Like Declan Rice doesn't need to be this. But we see he's at his best when he's able to roam, drive, and move around. And I feel like as playing as the 6, I don't think he's able to do that as much. So Partey was a massive blow, and it even calls into question. Wow, like he's on his last contract. There's all this talk about Zubimendi deal, but honestly, at this rate, and I've been someone that's been an advocate of getting rid of Partey. At this rate, I think we got to keep Partey. I think if he wants like a 1 to 2 year deal, give it to him, man. Like this guy he's world class. He's you see the impact that his loss had on the team. I thought Saka had a decent game. I saw people saying, yeah, Mendes locked him up. I'm like, bro, every time Saka got the ball, something got created. He made stuff happen. You see how much their players back off him every time he got the ball. He made stuff happen on the right. Then he got his shot away, and then he got his cross in, and then you see, okay, cool, nothing's happening for me on the right. Let me go on the left, and he puts in a good cross that on another day Martinelli puts away, right? So. Yeah, I thought he had a good game. I thought Timber struggled initially, but he came into his own. I thought, for me, the man of the match for Arsenal, but Arsenal's best player by a long shot, was Miles Lewis-Skelly. Because about 10 minutes in, I was crying, where is our midfield? Who is stepping in front of the centre-backs to do something, right? And I felt like, that's why I said Rice, like, bro, where were you? Because I felt like he wasn't doing that. Like you could see Saliba, Kivior, they had to take a bit more time on the ball because they're getting the ball from Raya. They're like, okay, who's showing for me? Who? Like I'm being pressed to my living daylights here. Who's gonna come? And there was kind of no one. It was weird. Marino had a decent game. I felt like when the momentum turned. I felt like he had a turnover probably around 35 minutes where he won a foul or something and the momentum started to turn. And I think that gave me a bit of hope and an indication as to what is going to actually give us any sort of chance of victory at Parc des Princes when we play them, right? Just some directness. Miles Lewis-Skelly, direct play. Our best opportunities. Is it a surprise that they came from direct running? No, it's not. We're not going to bop this PSG team off the pitch. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We are better off just passing, doing like a Nottingham Forest thing. That's what we got to do. Be sturdy, set up in a nice structured low block. When we get the ball, move it, get it as fast as possible. As fast as possible to players who can drive. Whether you drive and then you release, or whether ball over the top, which Partey is very good at doing. That's our tactic, and I don't feel like we played to our strengths today. I was, and I stand by it. I was expecting Marino and Rice to dominate that midfield. Not that they're better than Vitinha and Neves, which on technical ability they're not. But I was expecting them to really make it physical, get in their faces, be direct, get the ball, force them to come at you, and then pull up, which is what Miles Lewis-Skelly and Rice did, and shock horror. It created the best 2 chances of the game for Arsenal, 2 chances that we should have absolutely buried, but we didn't. And that's another thing as well. It's the Champions League semis. This is Champions League semis. You can't miss 2 clear chances like that, right? And not. And expect to like just thrive. You can't do that. You've got to take these chances, And I think that's the thing that's encouraging for me, because as good as PSG were, you can see they cannot maintain their pace and ferocity. They can't. It's physically impossible for them. At some point, they dropped off, right? And it actually, and that's why I felt like there was a swing from probably about minute 25 to minute 30. the momentum start to shift, and it's almost like you didn't really, if you're an Arsenal fan, you didn't want halftime because the momentum was shifting our way, and that's what. And even the first 15, 20 minutes of the second half, we had it. We had it, but then obviously but you see the difference. They're able to make subs, bring on Gonzalo Ramos, Bradley Barcola. You know, they're able to bring on these players. Meanwhile, they're able to bring on these players and add some freshness to the team, and lo and behold, like they're able to like retain possession, do their thing. Yeah, it was an interesting game. Good game in my opinion. People were saying, "Oh, it wasn't as." No, it was a good game, man. Very, very tactical. I like. You can see it was kind of like chess. But Enrique did his homework. Credit to PSG. But the tie's not over. I think we can beat them. Is it going to be tough? Yeah, but they can be beaten. PSG can be beaten because, like I said before the match, for all of the plaudits we give PSG, I would probably say the best clear opportunity they had. Obviously, the Doué chance, that was a good chance, but it's more individual brilliance and you kind of have to fashion stuff. But I'm talking clear cut right in front of goal, like Trossard, like Martinelli. Doesn't come until right at the end with Barcola and Gonzalo Ramos. When we're trying to get a goal, our line is off. And they should have buried those, by the way. So praise God that Arsenal are still in this. But yeah, I think we can get at them for all of their good play. We hurt them. We showed we could hurt them. We could open them up. What I want to see in the second leg is, I just want to see us being a lot more like ourselves out of possession. I felt like out of possession we weren't ourselves. You know, we and maybe some of that is down to how good PSG is. They forced us out of our position. They tracked us like they pressed us like crazy. Yeah, and I felt like our passing was so sloppy as well. And a big part of that, again, Martin Ødegaard, our captain, he was hiding. Sorry, bro, you were hiding. Martin, I think you're a good player, but bro, you are hiding, man. And this is something that no shade to Ødegaard. I said this like 3 months ago. I said, bruv, if I look at the team, Ødegaard is a good player, but I don't think he should be captain. I don't think he should be captain because my man, when it matters, like he hides. Let's be honest, he hides. And okay, at what point are we gonna just accept he's not that guy? He's not a Lamine Yamal. Like, okay, cool. And I'm gonna talk about Barca and Inter after this. He's not a Lamine Yamal that's gonna, okay, cool, my team is 2-0 down. Let me just rise up. He's not gonna do that. We got players in Arsenal that can do that. Saka can do that. You even saw Maslow Skelly. He was semi-doing that. Leadership. Rice against Real Madrid. Leadership. Ødegaard doesn't do that, man. And as for me, I think Arteta's got to really revise this because, yeah, we're doing the whole play your way into form thing. And honestly, it's only because he's Arsenal's captain, right? It's only because he's Arsenal's captain that he's starting right now. And because our squad is threadbare. Because, man, he's not been playing well at all. It's crazy that Marino had a better game over first leg against Madrid, second leg against Madrid, first leg against PSG. Marino has been better than Ødegaard, which is crazy to me. But that being said, I think Arsenal we can beat him. We can beat him. We can get at this team. Donnarumma is a good keeper when it comes to those types of saves. The ones against, yeah, he's long. Look at him. He's long. So those you're gonna need to, yeah. But he can get packed away, man. He can get packed away. I think we need to play to our strengths. I think we need to work on our set pieces. I don't know why Rice wasn't taking a lot more. Why Ødegaard was. We need to change that. Work on our set pieces. Really, and I think Thomas Partey coming back gives us a huge chance because when we get that midfield rhythm right, I think you're going to see the real Arsenal. But yeah, so I look forward to the semi-finals against PSG. We got Bournemouth at home this Saturday, bro. Just play Ethan. Play Raheem Sterling. I'd play Trossard. Play Trossard. Because let's be honest, he's not going to start. Trossard, Sterling, Waneri at home. Play Ødegaard. He needs I'd play him. I'd play him. Partey's going to be back. I'd play him for sure. Play Ben White. Where's Jorginho? I don't know. Is he injured? Like maybe Partey, maybe Zinchenko in midfield, Odegaard. I wouldn't even mind a Kieran Tierney or a Zinchenko left back. I would not mind that at all. Obviously, Kivio and Saliba, they're going to start. That's the team I'd play. I couldn't even tell you what the score's going to be. It's probably going to be a draw. I don't see Bournemouth winning because they've been on They've been on a slide. They're a good team, obviously, and they were unlucky against United, but they're not the same Bournemouth. I think the rigors of going for Europe is really getting to their team, and obviously probably the speculation as well about a lot of players. I could be wrong, but I feel like a couple players' heads are turned because they're not their crisp selves. But it wouldn't shock me if they find their form all of a sudden at the Emirates, knowing, hey, their focus is on PSG. But I still think we should win. I don't want to just throw away the league. I want to win. Like we're playing in front of our fans. Let's win. Winning gives you momentum. Let's end this run of draws. So I'm hopeful for a win. I think we should really be beating Bournemouth. But with that team, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if we're going to have enough to open them up. We should, but let's see. I think Ethan playing gives us a nice X factor. He needs to start. And what was with Arteta bringing him on with like 3-4 with like 5 minutes to go? Like, bro, like anyway, I'm not even gonna get on that, man. Yeah, Arteta bottled it with his subs as well. But again, squad quality, can you really blame him? What did we have on our bench? Butler Oyedeji. Not that he's a bad player, but this is what we're working with. They can bring on Gonzalo Ramos. We've got Butler Oyedeji warming up. We're bringing on Ben White and Ethan Nwaneri. Anyway, but that's enough on Arsenal. But we got to talk about Barcelona Inter. All the talk was Inter. A week ago, people were talking about the treble. People talking about, wow, Inzaghi, talking about the resilience of this Inter team, man. And then they lose to Bologna, to a great Orsolini goal, 1-0. And then Milan, which is weird. Milan who have been so bad this season, even though they brought in their coach, what's his name? The former Porto coach that was doing that nonsense with me to go against Arsenal. Oh, Sergio Conceição. They brought him in, and you're thinking, yeah, but it's still been, Milan have not been great, but they've also beaten Inter, right, already this season in cup competitions. And everyone's thinking, okay, cool, Inter, they lost to Bologna. They don't really have much time to respond. You got Milan. Then they got hammered by Milan, 3-0. Jovic scores 2 goals. Then they lose at home to Roma, deservedly as well. Right? Ranieri gets revenge for the 2010-2011 season when Inter pipped Roma to the league. And Inter's confidence right now is on the floor. Their players are tired. Then you hear Thuram, he's not fully fit. Is he going to play? And then the script was written, in my opinion. The script was written for an Inter dagger. And the thing is, let me tell you something, guys. I was saying it before. I was saying it after we beat Madrid. I was saying, I personally, if we get past PSG, which I think we can, I don't want to play Inter Milan in the final. Because if Inter Milan get past Barcelona, bruh, this team, Inter Milan, for me, they're one of the, if not the best, tactically set up teams in the Champions League. Simone Inzaghi is a fantastic coach. I remember when we played them at their ground, it was weird. They let us have the ball. But the defense, man, is just very, very strong. But it's not just that. I felt like we should have gotten a draw against them. You just gotta love to see it, the link up play between the strikers, right? You got the Lautaro, the Thuram, how quickly they can break on you. Di Marco, Barella, even Fratesi that chips him with his goals. The script was written for an Inter dagger, right? And what a finish from Marcus Thuram. What a player, you know. And then they go 2-0 up. You know, another great finish from Denzel Dumfries, right? I think it's mad. Semi-final team, you can see 2 goals from set pieces, right? Barcelona got sort that. I can't lie, this Inter, the reason why I don't want to they remind me a lot of Mourinho's Inter. They really do. Because what was that Mourinho's Inter good at? They were very strong defensively, had a technician like Schneider in midfield, but then you had Eto'o and Milito, the link up. You had these guys, Maicon, strong right back, strong running at right back, right? Obviously, Dumfries is not on Maicon's level at his peak, but you see the similar template is there, right? Obviously, different formation, but you get what I mean in terms of player profiles, right? And the script was written for an Inter dagger, right? But I have to say, Barcelona, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been saying I actually thought Inter would go there and win, purely because Flick is not going to change from this high line. He's not going to do it. He's not gonna do it. He's gonna keep doing it, because he has that much belief in, almost kind of like an arrogant, but I'm here for it, a confident. No, I wouldn't say arrogant. He has a confident belief, right, in his team's offensive power. They're so direct offensively, always causing you problems. And that's what I like about Barcelona. That's what it takes me off about Arsenal, right? You see Barcelona 2-0 down, they're trying. They're doing stuff. They're getting balls in the box. The players are taking on players. It's weird. Like, we can be 1-0 down or 0-0, and we're playing like we're 3-0 up. Anyway, let me not talk about Arsenal. But it was such a great game. Right, defensively, it was a terrible game. Terrible game. But wow, Lamine Yamal. I'm saying it. It's done. Lamine Yamal is the best player. Is the best player in the world. Is it Lamine Yamal? Yamin. Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal or Lamine Yamal. Guys, I'm confused. He's the best player in the world. He is the best player in the world. That's a fact. Lamine Yamal. There we go. I got it right the first time. He's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world. I'm sorry. He is done. He's the best player in the world. Who's better than him? The Liverpool fans, you say Salah's the best right winger. No, he's not. Lamine Yamal is. Because if you were offered Salah or Lamine Yamal, or Lamine Yamal, you're taking Lamine Yamal. You're taking him. This guy, man. This guy. 100 appearances by the age of 17. This guy's the truth, man. I'm going to say it. I've not seen someone that young have this level of impact since Lionel Messi. This guy is crazy. Man said, my team are 2-0 down. We're playing at the Montjuic. We're in front of our fans. There's no Lewa. You know what? We're 2-0 down. Alright, cool. Give me the ball. I'm going to do something. And he did something. He did something epic. I'm going to beat a couple guys, pack it away. Left foot. And every time they got the ball to him, Inter were terrified of him. What a player. What a player. Such a baller. What a player, man. Dragged Barca into the game. But I do think Inter kind of played into their hands though, because and that's probably the only weakness you'd say about Inter Milan. They play like underdogs, right? They like to play like that. But it's kind of hard to play like that when you're 2-0 up, when you kind of actually need to control the game. And I felt like Inter, and you could see Inzaghi was fuming, and he was fuming in the second half because he was saying them push up, because they're so used to their low block and taking the ball off of people and direct transition. It's like push up. Because against this Barcelona team, because they did that to us, they did that to Arsenal at their ground. They just kept inviting us on. And I'm like, why are Inter playing like this? I'm like, oh, this is actually their tactic. They have that much belief that the defense won't be breached. You can't do that against this Barcelona team. I'm sorry, you cannot. Because they got Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal, for goodness sake. They got Lamine Yamal, who will get the ball, beat 6 man, take out half the team, and then lay it off to his teammate, and they score. So you can't do that against this Barcelona, which is what they tried to do, and I think it worked. It worked against their favor. But one thing you can see, both teams are tired though, because both teams have had to play. Both teams have passed 2-3 weeks. They're playing games like every 3 days, because they're still actively in 3 cup competitions. Well, Inter they got battered by AC, but Barcelona just Copa del Rey against Real Madrid a couple of days before, and then before that playing in the league. Same thing with Inter. It's not been easy. They're very, very leggy, and I think regardless of who makes it to the final, that's probably the advantage that anyone from the Arsenal and PSG side have, because PSG's league is done. It's been done, and the league has been done for Arsenal, right? So they have a bit more time, more luxury to focus and rest, whereas Barca are still in an active title race. Inter are still in an active title race, though it looks like they're going to lose it to Napoli, right? So both teams look tired, because let's be real. I don't think fresh Inter Milan will leak, will goes 2-0 up and then throws that away in several minutes. I don't think so. Sorry, I really don't. I think you can see Inter are tired, but they still showed character. But I was impressed by Barcelona. I'm not going to lie to you, because I looked at Barcelona. Okay, you're the youngest team in the Champions League. You play fantastic. You probably easily play the best football, but you're so poor defensively, in my opinion. And any team that's poor defensively, it doesn't matter how good you are, they will always give you chances. I mean, like, I saw a stat, Barcelona, they've kept a clean sheet in 18 of 51 matches this season. So only 35% of their matches, they've kept a clean sheet. Meaning, if you're playing Barcelona, your 70% of the times, they're not going to keep a clean sheet. Meaning that they concede chances. Like, I've seen games, 4-4 at home to Atletico Madrid, 4-2 away to Atletico Madrid, 2-0 up against Real Madrid, 1-0 up against Real Madrid, then go 2-1 down. And the way they play, the intensity, like, you could see as well physically, it's tiring for them, you know? Like, that's what happened in the Copa del Rey. When they got less tired, when they got tired, that's when Real Madrid, I actually thought Real Madrid didn't deserve to lose that game, because second half they were the better team and should have saw that through, but they didn't. Anywho, but I think also having Lewandowski back, if he's back for the second leg, man, gives them a good chance. I think that ties in the balance. A lot of people are saying Barcelona are the favourites. In my opinion, Inter at home in front of their fans, it's 50-50. It's 50-50. You know, like the last time, every time Barcelona have drawn their first game at home, this has happened 14 times over a 2-legged tie. They've won the second leg 7 times, but they've also not won the second leg 7 times. So it's 50-50. This tie is in the balance. You'd think Inter should have the advantage at home, but I don't, purely because of Barcelona's offensive power. But their defense, this high line, it's crying out for someone to exploit it. So I'm looking forward to Champions League next week. So those are my take. This is Tosin's take for the semi-finals, half-time. Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world. Inter Milan, if they make it to the final, they probably are the likely winners. Arsenal can beat PSG at their ground. It just requires just us playing to our strengths and the right midfield balance. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll be with you after the next set of matches.